That, by far, was the most wildest week of the year. Let's talk. Right, we've an absolute bombshell to unravel today. That was an absolute roller coaster of a week, and I just can't wait to get cracking into it. We're going to break down my thoughts on Rocket Lab, Archer, and Joby post earnings, and what we're going to discuss is where I can see it going forward, what the Hustle Brothers have done, and what we're doing going forward. But guys, it's going to be a bit of a short one today, because I'm going to be dead honest. I am absolutely knackered from the past two live streams that have occurred over the last 2 days, and then I jumped on and watched Vince's stream with Matt Money and Scott O. So if you haven't seen them, make sure to check out the Rocket Lab earnings call, because I'm going to be dead honest, it's a bit of a spoiler, but it was an insane call, and the guy's done absolutely amazing. But I want to give a big shout out to all of you as a community. There was 3,000 of you between the Joby and Archer earnings call. And guys, I just can't get it out of my head how quick this community's grown. I never expected 3,000 people to show up. I thought we'd get 50, maybe 100 people. So guys, this is a thank you from the hearts of the Hustle Brothers. I really mean it. But I've got a lesson that I learned over the past two live streams, and it's gonna relate to all three stocks, but I'm gonna be referring to yesterday's earnings call, the Archer one. The one thing you need to know about me, I am really big into social psychology and that herd mentality, how people think in the mass. We're gonna let you in on a bit of a story on what happened during this call, and then my confusion around the whole thing. So, by no means can the size of our community even affect the stock price by even 1 cent. However, with a size of a population of 3,000, it gave us a good indication of the sentiment of the stock and how people's minds were feeling from all over the world. So let me take you back. So for any guys that don't know, Adam Goldstein is the CEO of Archer. He was presenting the financial call. And guys, the call went exactly as planned. Yes, they missed on EPS. And we can't expect that they were going to generate any significant revenue. So I don't know really what people expected. The operational expenditure was increased. However, they are trying to get the Midnight aircraft certified. But overall, we'll say that 3,000 population was completely happy. We got to the Q&A, and then this is when the virus happened. Someone mentioned a stock price in the chat. Next thing there was 2, then there was 3, then there was 4. Next thing the chat turned into absolute mayhem and panic. People were saying they're going selling their position just because the stock tanked 10%. We then at one stage, I believe, tanked 15%. I'm going to be dead honest, I wasn't keeping an eye on the stock price during the stream. What really gets to me is there was one particular guy in that call, and he said that he was a new investor and he was constantly losing money. Many of you may recall this comment. He said he had bought into Archer last week and it was around $9. During this absolute mayhem in the chat, he decided to sell his Archer position at around $6.80 and he had lost $500. And he was happy with taking the loss. Guys, one thing I want to stress to absolutely every one of you, and this is not me trying to hype the stock, pump the stock. I am physically not able to do that. And guys, to be honest, I don't want to do that. I want this company to succeed the way they're going to succeed. However, I do care about seeing actual individuals in the chat. But this particular chat seemed very concerned and very upset. And for a new trader, it's gut-wrenching to take a $500 loss that early into your investing career. So I've spoken about this on many live streams. What we see happen in many earnings calls, and this is, I believe, what happened in Archer and it happened in Rocket Lab. We're going to get onto exactly why we tanked so much, and that is to do with the macro conditions in the market. However, one other factor was in play. I have said no matter how good or bad an earnings report normally is, the big money managers, Wall Street themselves, are ready for the dumb money. They sell out. We had it in the chat. BlackRock sold at $8.50. Next thing, there was absolute mayhem. BlackRock sell at $8.50. They pull the stock price down. Then, what happens is, this is when the panic starts. And we pull the stock price down even further. Guys, what happened today? We rebounded. So if the likes of any of your big funds that sold yesterday come back in, they can rise the stock price clean up, and they have more or less robbed your shares from you. It's a simple way of putting it, and it is not as simple as that. However, just for this video alone, I want to break it down for you, just for any of these new investors to understand. Guys, what I believe is happening at the moment, we have a lot of fear with the macro conditions. We have Trump again looking to raise his tariffs by an additional 10%. The Chinese market. This has caused absolute mayhem between all companies. As I'm going to be dead honest, I think people are ill-informed. We even got someone on the Rocket Lab earnings call ask how is the tariffs going to affect, because some of their business is done in Toronto. Adam Spice quickly shut him down and said it's not going to really have much of an impact on the overall business of Rocket Lab. But look, it's where the analysts themselves don't understand either. So you can imagine the everyday investor is just painting everything with the same brush. Guys, I said, if you have bought the likes of Rocket Lab at $20, or you have bought Archer at $9, or Joby at $8, don't get married to the stock price. You bought the company for a reason, and you had a vision of where it's going. I'm not saying it's going to the price you envisioned, but if the company has no specific bad news, well then why the fact that the price is now on sale, is it a must sell for some of you investors? Guys, I was absolutely mind blown. Within half an hour of the trading day opened, we were back, and if not, we had surpassed what we were at yesterday. These very same investors that sold out during our stream got wiped out, where they could have made profit today. I am just concerned by some decisions people are making, and this is not financial advice, but me and Reese have said to you before that we have made very silly decisions early on in our career in investing, and I just think it's a lesson we can all learn from yesterday's call. Guys, I will only ever say what I am doing or Reese is doing, and I don't want us to sway any of your decisions. However, I will be the first man to admit I'm wrong, or if there was specific bad news. We had people comparing Archer to Lilium. Guys, Lilium filed for bankruptcy. That is more than a reason to sell what you can. There was no bankruptcy news or anything like the sort. So don't even try and compare it to that. Anyway, you've had enough of my rambling. Let's get back to my actual thoughts and a quick dive into what I believe happened over these earnings calls. So starting with Rocket Lab, we've had the confirmation of they're targeting Neutron for the back end of 25. Now, we were looking at mid 25. However, it was no earlier than. So I'm not too disappointed. I have openly said I believe it could be August time that they're launching. However, I think we can push that back a little bit to October, November. And guys, look, if it's mid 26, I'm not actually that worried about whether they can get Neutron or not. They do have the cash runway. Then one thing I do like is Peter Beck addressed that short report that came out and basically said, don't worry guys, we have water. Good on Peter. Then we had the flatter light get introduced, which is absolutely amazing. There's some debate at the moment, is this Rocket Lab's constellation or is it specifically for a customer in mind? This flatter light, my understanding, will be the next level to their business. This space system side will absolutely take off now because their ability to produce these constellations for customers. But really, in my head, I think this is the eye-opening event that is happening where Rocket Lab are introducing their own constellation, post Neutron. Overall, Rocket Lab had an absolute amazing earnings, and there was no reason for the stock to go down. Yes, they didn't have an absolutely extraordinary announcement that some people were expecting. But guys, I think we need to lower the bar a little bit when it comes across all these stocks. Setting the bar too high is what led to Nvidia's slip too. Nvidia beat on earnings, and you can see how battered down it got. Jumping across to Joby, I have openly said there was nothing wrong with Joby's business, and it was the lack of PR me and Reese focused on. We went a little bit too hard. We can admit that, hand on heart. We got a little bit carried away in the stream, but we do like to hype each other up in certain moments. But overall, I think Joby performed really well, and I think that going forward, I don't want to say more bullish on Joby than Archer, but it's getting there. Then with Archer, they've done exactly what they said in the tin. We've heard an awful lot more about the Archer defense side of the business. And the one question that stood out to me was whether Archer Defense will be a separate business or will it stay under the Archer business. And Adam confirmed it will be under Archer. So that has highlighted to me that this will be a significant part of their business. They're not only focusing on the commercial side, but I could actually see them pushing for this frontward defense side of the company. What did the Hustle Brothers do today? Well, I said on the stream last night that I was looking for an entry price of $7.15 for Archer. We dropped way below that, but I then disclosed that I don't normally trade during after hours. That's just personal choice. Some people, like, if you did trade after hours, you would have been laughing today. There was a good 20% to be made. So what did I do? I'll be dead honest. I was working today. So over here, the stock market opens at 2:30, and that's normally when I take my lunch. I set a limit order for Rocket Lab where I was going in at 16.50. I had another one at 16 and another one at 15.50. 16.50 got executed very early on. We never made it any lower. And this is why you can't anticipate a stock. We had a lot of people saying that we're going down to the low teens. But this is exactly why we dollar cost average down, because by no way did I think the reversal was going to be that significant today. I wasn't quick enough to get into Archer, and I wasn't quick enough to get into Joby. However, I do believe this is a really good price to get in, but I wasn't speaking to Reese today, so I wasn't going making that decision without confiding in him. But guys, this is my decision, this is my personal journey. This is not me advising what to do, because I'm going to be dead honest. It may not be the right thing, but I just want to be an open book. I don't want to tell you that I bought in when I didn't. I missed the boat there, but I don't think it's too late. However, I really want to consult with Reese during these treacherous times. So what are we doing going forward? Well, we haven't sold any of our positions. Yes, I'm keeping an eye on Archer and Joby, and you could see us execute that very soon. However, Rocket Lab, I am back in the buy zone. Anything below 25, it's buy. But guys, let me know exactly what you think. Also, if you've got this far, there's one thing I want to ask you. We were asked in the stream last night, because we had such of a laugh with some of you in the community, that maybe it might be good to create a Hustle Brother podcast. There's different formats this can take. This can take a very formal financial format, but Reese threw out an idea where it could be a little bit more relaxed. See how we are all relaxed while the mayhem was going on, and that was very important for us in that time of need. We all calmed each other down. Would you like a Hustle Brother podcast where it's a bit like an agony aunt, or it could be the Hustle Brothers speaking about absolutely anything? Something where the community put in, whether it's how would you best make a cup of tea for the Pope, or is it my grandfather crashed his car and what can we do? You'll get a very passionate response from the Hustle Brothers, and it can lead to a very banter-like debate. But this is completely off topic, but let me know if a weekend Hustle Brother podcast, which is a bit more light-hearted, not very formal and financial, but more of a relaxing thing on the weekend. Drop it in the comments below and let me know what type of format you want it to take. And also, guys, more than ever, hit that like button. Get it out to all of the community. Right, until next time.